So, Facebook is analyzing vaccine hesitancy.
Yes, of course, vaccine hesitancy.
Do you think that maybe Facebook there'd be less vaccine hesitancy if Fauci hadn't lied to the American public at every turn?
Pretty
Yeah,
goddamn sure. I mean, it's not that Fauci's not lying. He never lies. It's just that he
I think he just
flip-flops
doesn't
on his
know,
opinion
and he's
all
saying
the time.
something he assumes to be correct.
Yeah.
This is the most good faith interpretation of what he's done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're giving him a lot of fucking good faith there, but let's just be nice. I'm in a good mood. Let's be nice. Oh boy, I'm gonna fucking try
Dr.
to puke.
Fauci.
No,
Oh no.
no. You can
Both at
you
the
can
same
replace
time.
second. You can replace second on a lot of things, but do not do that,
Oh
please.
boy. I cannot replace second. He's one of a kind.
A man
Yeah,
of a
but
million voices too. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to when he's gonna do that challenge he got.
oh
Oh boy.
yes.
Biden speech in Herbert? Yes, please.
Oh, it was
Oh,
so good.
So, Facebook. Facebook.
Yes.
Vaccine hesitancy. Now that's the weird bit. It's not anti-vaxxers or like vaccine denial. It's even hesitancy. It's like
yeah.
I'm not sure about this one. No, not allowed to.
Well, like I don't think the Lotus Eaters covered it, but I would be willing to bet that they consider vaccine hesitancy to also be, Pfizer's looking a bit dodgy. I might wait a couple of months for Moderna to be available in my region. I'd be willing to bet that that's vaccine
Oh
hesitancy
yeah,
as well.
probably.
I mean, we're talking about the company who made up the idea of hate figures. Was it hate?
Yeah,
What was the word again? Hate personnel?
Hate figures, I
yeah.
think,
Hate
was
figures.
right.
Yeah. It's just.
Yeah, because they wanted to do that when they were talking about British Voldemort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one thing that's for certain. If they want to convince us that their Lord and Master the Suck isn't a lizard guy, a lizard person, they're not doing it right.
Yeah, Billy Blogs has an excellent point. Vaccine hesitancy, logical apprehension of taking part in a medical trial. Do they even inform you so you can give informed consent? Of course they don't, and then they don't hold the vaccine companies liable if you die of the side effects.
Yeah,
If
you're
there's
not
any
allowed to
side
sue
effect,
them.
of course, that is in Minecraft. I mean, in Terraria. I mean, in The Last of Us, the fan game, which is pretty shit.
I
This is gonna
mean,
take a
You're
while.
not you're
I've
not allowed to state some people have had this adverse effect from it. That's scary.
yeah, like that's completely totalitarian. And the thing that blows my mind the most is, like Billy Blogs is bringing up, is, or rather led me to, when you look at the vaccine companies not being held liable for the side effects, how is that not the one thing that's increasing it? Like, if they were held liable for some pittance, some pathetic little pittance, I don't know, $100,000 if you die from it or something, that at least make people trust it more. But obviously, the number should probably be something far higher than that, but nonetheless.
To me, that's a one big red flag. And I mean, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I've taken every vaccine that is necessary,
Yes.
but I
Yeah.
have a ground rule. It has to be out and fully tested in at least 3 years if I'm even
It
gonna
has to be
consider
FDA
taking it.
approved at least.
Yes, it has to be FDA approved, not emergency authorization.
Hmm.
Which is bullcrap.
Yes. I will take all approved vaccines I am offered. Facebook, how does that sound for you?
Well,
I think
not
you gotta
good.
get the VH tag.
Yeah.
I wonder, does this apply to anything else but the COVID vaccine? Will they keep this for later on? Like, for example, if someone in their basement said, "Oh, I made a vaccine for polio. Take it. Is it FDA approved?" No, I haven't bothered to yet. Take it. Will you be allowed to be skeptical of some rando's vaccine?
Knowing,
It depends on how
knowing
much they pay
Facebook, they
Facebook.
probably won't turn the algorithm off, so it'll completely ignore what the disease it's vaccinating against is, and whoopsies.
Oh man, I'm really curious what the algorithm will turn to. When this whole COVID thing is over, what will it start
Skynet.
doing?
Skynet.
Skynet.
That's only a little bit of a joke.
Well,
what?
whatever it'll be back.
Yeah,
Good one.
indeed.
I'm a bit too much of a nerd.
It's just the other thing that I think is really getting people on board the whole vaccine hesitancy thing that they don't understand is when people ask a basic question like, oh, what's the percentage of vaccines that cause blood clots? And you come slamming down on them, they're going to go, okay, you're hiding something.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean,
But-
you're pretty much just poisoning a well at this point. It's like, yeah, you know what? How about no?
I mean, my stance on free speech is always, if there's an idea that you think is bad, you don't work to block it because that will make people consider, maybe there's some truth to idea. If you genuinely think that idea is bad, say your idea in such a way that you convince people it's better than the bad idea that you're trying to fight.
Exactly.
Better than the alternative, right?
I think the old quote is sunlight is the best disinfectant. Drag their
That-
ideas out into the light so everyone can see how stupid they are.
Very true.
And mockery works
If you
far
fail to
better.
make
Go on.
if you fail to make a good argument for your position, yet you think the opposing idea is so obviously bad, then I don't know, you're stupid, man.
Or you're a communist.
Yeah.
You repeated yourself. Because it was Orwell who said something along the lines of some ideas are so stupid, only
intellectuals will believe
only an
them.
intellectual could believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, I view intellectuals like this. I mean, there's two things: wisdom and intelligence. Now, intellectuals only have respect their intelligence and completely ignore their wisdom.
Pretty much.
I will die on that hill.
Yeah. Intellectuals are funny people.
Well,
Indeed.
as long as they don't drive me insane.
Well, a lot of them don't have any real world experience. They go through their 20 years of formative schooling, depending on how many years of kindergarten or preschool you count. Then they go to university for another 4 years, and then they get a job in whatever
Not
it
just
is.
another 4 years. If they're like fucking doing a PhD or something, they can be there for
Yes, they are masters
7
in
years.
underwater
Yeah.
feminist basket weaving.
Yeah. And many of them can be experts in what they do, but that gets them thinking, well, I'm an expert in this thing, I'm very intelligent, I can give my opinion on anything and they'll be good.
Exactly.
Hello,
they only
Second
look.
Plague.
Yeah, Second has joined us. Hello, Second.
Yeah. Hello, man.
How's Hunter Biden doing?
Did you get him out of
You
the
have to unmute
bathtub before he
yourself.
slipped under the water and accidentally drowned? With
He's
Clinton in the
muted.
next room chuckling?
He's muted. Is there
muted.
something?
I don't think I broke his permissions.
Oh, there
my
you
bad. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Hey, Second, how's it
Yeah.
going?
Oh, good. I got Hunter the fuck out of my bathroom. I certainly hope Hillary wasn't hiding with like a knife or a garrote in the next room or some shit.
If
She
Hillary
just
was there, you'd know it by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd smell the
The
sulfur.
stench of sulfur. Yeah.
Congratulations on graduating, man.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, thanks. Yeah, the amazing
engineer.
thing,
Become the engineer.
the funny thing about the commencement thing was that like only 20% of the people in the fucking stadium were wearing masks.
Nice.
Good.
So I was like, oh, beautiful.
I thought you were gonna go to only 20% of you are actually subscribed to the channel. So if you like what you're seeing, go down and subscribe and like the video. Actual advice, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My.
I know.
But then again, just gonna be honest, we're not gonna use that stat. But if you want more of this, if you want more of this wonderful mess, just click likes and subscribe. Maybe comment some funny meme or shit post. Do what you want. Have fun.
Be based and carry on.
Yes.
So, second, we
So
have been
second.
talking about Facebook and the shenanigans they've been up to with their vaccine hesitancy. Now, you're vaccinated for reasons that are your own. What do you think on the
Yep.
vaccine hesitancy thing?
Let me see. Well, I just woke up, so I didn't quite.
Oh,
Oh,
morning.
I didn't
okay.
quite catch
All
the podcast today.
right. So, quick Cliff's Note version is Facebook has developed an algorithm that identifies how hesitant you are, how your post is about the vaccine, and then it de-ranks it if you show vaccine hesitancy.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So not only for free speech reasons does that bother me, but it also like kind of bugs me due to the inconsistency. I mean, there's a bunch of unfairness with how vaccine hesitancy is treated in general. You know, it's very obvious who the media and social media are willing to treat with more contempt for being hesitant about taking the vaccine. But, you know, what communities they're willing to give more of a pass, you know?
Of course.
So racial minority communities, you know, there's a higher vaccine hesitancy in the black community. I hate to
Oh,
use
yeah.
that term.
Well,
But,
my
yeah.
understanding is they do have legitimate reason because the government illegally experimented on them.
Yeah.
But
That's
that'd
true.
never
But
happen.
I don't know what. Did it
But that
not?
could never happen again. No.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
But you know, but that never gets brought up by the media. But I see a ton of articles, especially on Reddit, because I'm on r/Christianity, which is basically a leftist hive, where
God.
there's so
Why are
many.
you on Reddit still?
Exactly. There's so many threads that are like, white evangelicals won't take the vaccine. And it's like, you know, white evangelical is the buzzword on there. But, you know, so it's like the media will go after parts of the whites that are hesitant, but not like, you know, racial minority communities. So
Yeah.
there's kind of an unfairness there. But also the other ridiculous thing to me is that as far as vaccine hesitancy goes, now the media and social media think it's a grave evil, right? Now that Biden's president, they think it's like a supreme evil to be hesitant about
Remember
the vaccine.
before the election, when Trump was doing the Operation Warp Speed thing with the vaccine,
Yeah,
everyone was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna take that if it's made by Trump."
yeah, exactly. Trump's
Yeah.
like, oh yes, Operation Warp Speed. You know, you've never
It'll be
seen
huge.
anything like this. We have the best people. But then, you know, and then the media is like, oh my God, Trump is rushing it through. It won't be properly tested. I am not going to get it. And I'm watching all that shit, and in the back of my head, I'm just like, yeah, as soon as the election is over, they're going to completely flip on the vaccine thing because it'll
You
no
know,
longer be
I would
relevant
have
for them to try and convince everyone that Trump is doing a terrible job.
I would have agreed with them. Rushing the vaccine is a bad idea, but they just flip flopped on it as soon as it was the other guy sharing it.
Yeah. Well, it's like the meme I saw earlier today. Well, yesterday for you guys. No, today for you guys, yesterday for me. One of those two. Where it was it the B? It might have been the B. Someone did a meme where it's like Fauci gets into an argument with 17 previous versions of himself.
Yeah, it was the beat.
I love the
Oh
B.
boy.
Guys, you're supposed to
mean-
be satire.
Well, I
Yeah,
do
that's
love it
something that's been
because
worrying me lately. They're starting to have this Alex Jones effect.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, with
dear.
Fauci, the amazing thing now is that now whenever I'm like dealing with a friend or a family member who's being like really indecisive about something or can't make up their mind, I'll be like,
Saying Dr.
stop,
Fauci
stop having a.
insane.
No, I won't sing that, but I'll be like, stop having a Fauci moment, and make up your mind and stick to it.
Nice. Ah, there we go. There's the
There
little
you
meme.
go, Bezek.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
Here we go. Dr. Fauci gets in heated debate with 17 previous versions of himself. Oh, B, no. Stop that.
Imagine Fauci just fucking through time and space. I disagree with you, but I disagree with you. And then they have this weird ass soy boy with an awkward voice, like singing the song of hell in the background.
Speaking of Dr. Fauci, what do you guys think about Dr. Fauci and the CDC as a whole being like, we're not actually sure it developed naturally. We're looking into that, and they're researching the whole Wuhan.
Yeah,
thing.
didn't they call that like a fucking conspiracy theory until 5 minutes ago and deride anyone who claimed that?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly
I
that.
think
They did.
Terry Crews went
Ugh.
out on a tangent on that one. He called out the people. Was like, oh, you just say that shit's racist or something. Well, more politically than I said it, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. So the guys in chat have been doing some excellent thinking work. Robert Longshore has brought up, apparently the NHS put out a video targeting the hesitancy in blacks in the UK. Basically called them all morons, insulting, surely is the best way to convince people to get the poke. Well,
Holy shit.
yeah.
Well, at least they're being consistent.
Well, they are being consistent. It is the standard leftist position that they are superior to black people. I had to be very careful because this can easily be taken out of context. The leftists truly do believe that they are superior to the black people and they must help the black people because the black people can't do anything without the progressive
it's essentially
assistance.
a modern day white man's burden. That's what they have.
Yeah, it's truly the white man's burden.
It is
Yeah,
disgusting.
whereas in reality, they need to get off their cross because we need the wood.
Yeah,
And this is coming
we
from the
already have a
Christian.
cross and it's already bad.
You know that what reminds me of? It's that meme that was like at the beginning of the pandemic when people were rushing to buy stuff from the store. It's like a lefty in the shop saying, "Look at the failures of capitalism," pointing at empty shelves, and then the shop worker is like, "Ma'am, can you move, please? I'm trying to stock the shelves."
Nice.
No,
Yeah.
what she doesn't understand as well is that capitalism, you sometimes have empty shelves. With communism, you always have empty shelves.
Yep.
Yeah.
In communism,
Well-
you don't even have shelves. That's why that's why communism worked, guys, because they don't have any shelves to be empty. See?
Well, Ben Shapiro also pointed this out how how a bunch of lefties are like,
See, the economy completely collapsing during COVID proves that capitalism doesn't work.
And Ben Shapiro's just like,
Okay, gang, that isn't capitalism. You know, the reason that everything failed is because the government artificially shut all of these businesses down. So the idea that this is due to the failure of the free market is just absolutely asinine, folks.
What they also don't realise that if it wasn't for the free market, we wouldn't have the bloody vaccines.
Just remind me, Plague, that if I ever become a millionaire, I'm going to hire you, and I'm going to just book a hour with Ben Shapiro, and just have the two of you go at each other. That is my
Oh,
dream.
man.
That is my dream. If I ever become a disgustingly filthy rich capitalist,
Like
big
Ben
guy with a-
Shapiro.
Yes, even more so. I'm going to out the Jew. What?
Disavow,
I
but
didn't
funny.
I know.
It's fine.
I mean,
He's
so-
right wing. They don't care.
Excuse me. How dare you? I am not right wing. I am a leftist shill like everyone else.
yeah. The left only cares about Jews half the time. Jews are only
Do they even
cared
care about them that often?
I mean, yeah, it's kind of this
Making a
thing where
lot
it's
of
like
assumption right now.
Jews and Asians are like on the border, right? Where it's like, wow, okay, I didn't, pun not intended, but they're on the border where it's like
At least you didn't
the,
say
the
Mexican.
left, yeah, where it's like the left treats them basically as white, unless they can use them to shit on the political right wing
Oh,
in
yeah.
some way.
Absolutely.
Be
Aren't
like,
they what
Oh, the alt-right is attacking the Jews. We like the Jews. No, you don't. Or like, oh man, all these hate crimes against Asians because of Trump and white supremacy.
Like nobody.
I
fucking
mean,
buys them.
I think we can say like this, though. They call them white passing whenever
Yeah.
they can shit on them.
So the guys in the chat are again having a fantastic conversation and making us.
I love these guys.
Yeah. So Robert Longshore is saying that Brett Weinstein over at Dark Horse Podcast has been saying that lab release was a big possibility since about May last year. Billy Blogs is saying that it's the most obvious source of the virus. I mean, yes, you've got a city that has a virology lab in it that studies coronaviruses for bats, and all of a sudden it's the epicenter of an outbreak.
Oh.
So we know that's where it came from. The only mystery here is how did it actually get out?
Well,
of the
that's
lab?
it. Like literally, the only question is, did it get out on purpose or by accident? I think it's more likely it got out on accident, because I don't think even the Chinese would be stupid enough to release it on purpose in their own city that it came from.
Mhm.
But I also think that they're too stupid to have proper safety controls in place.
You know,
Sticks made a good
Vosh-
video about this. He
God.
said that the lab was made during the Obama admin, and whenever there's a big virology lab being made, all the countries like collaborate together. So
So-
the US must have sent someone to help with building the lab, and they must have been among the people making the safety protocols for the lab. So if there's gonna be an investigation in it, it's gonna be a very light touch. It's gonna be, oh, it just got out, we're very sorry about it.
Yeah.
They're not gonna look at who actually made those protocols.
Well,
Because it might
see,
lead back.
I've had a really funny idea though. What happened during the Obama era, does that mean that Biden is to blame for COVID?
Technically.
Maybe his
That-
son Hunter is to blame.
Oh, man.
And all.
Yeah. He still won't get out of my fucking bathtub. Oh,
Seriously?
I don't-
Okay, here. I had a similar issue with not Hunter, but someone who has a name that rhymes with him. Just take tiny doses of crack with a small, like, take a 20 centimeter spacing between them.
Oh, I
out,
see. So
and then
so
put it
do
in a
like
box.
yeah, I see. So do like a Pac-Man thing and like create like a path out of my house.
Yeah, essentially. It's like, ooh, piece of crack.
just
Ooh,
a line of
crack.
Parmesan cheese on the floor,
Yeah.
all the way
There
to
we
the
go.
door.
That's a lot
And-
cheaper and legal.
Yeah, for that kind of investigation, you would need a. Wait, okay, is it? Yeah, you need like Rand Paul for that kind of investigation because there have been just numerous fucking clips of him just ripping into Fauci, and in one of them he was like, "Hey, Fauci, are we sending money to these kinds of labs where people do, I don't know, super virus testing or whatever?" I forget the exact name because I
Gain of
just woke up.
function, I think.
Yeah, something like that. And Fauci's like, "No, that is completely ridiculous." And then, like,
But
5 minutes
Rand-
later, proven true.
Yeah, well, and then, like, Fauci's like, "No, we do not send it to any of those." And then he, like, backpedals and he's like, "And even if we did, they follow the proper protocol." It's like, okay.
well, clearly protocol wasn't followed here.
Clearly.
So it all
Yeah.
wraps back up. If they're gonna do a serious investigation into China and hold China to account, China will just say, "Oh, well, it was the U.S. that helped us build this lab," and it's not gonna end well.
Oh, Biden's
No,
to
but-
blame then.
But what we actually need is not that investigation. No, we need a January 6th commission.
Yes.
Yes,
Good
to
Lord.
investigate the insurrection. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but on January 6th, I don't recall them taking over sections of cities, declaring themselves to be sovereign nations separate from the United States, and actually committing sedition.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's also like, it's completely.
it's a summer of love. It's a summer of love, guys. Don't
Well,
you
just
understand?
remember
You know
that
what?
the Chaz had the highest
That
rate.
wasn't a summer of love.
The Chaz
How
had the
dare you.
highest rate of police brutality in the world, and that includes Africa.
That is hate facts, and you know it. Stop it.
Did
Well,
did you know?
The thing is, I've
Did you
come
know
across-
AOC was killed during the Capitol riot?
Yes, he barely survived being murdered.
She was killed and she's now a
Oh
ghost.
man. Well, and now
No,
she's
Biden
like,
came and
and
just
now
said-
she's
They
like,
bring up the article.
well, no. Here's the thing. She's like, I'm still going to therapy to recover from the horrors of that day, and it's like, oh, shut the fuck up. Like, I've met a few people. I've come across a couple of people who drink the CNN Kool-Aid who are like, oh yeah, that was the worst thing ever, and there is still like a threat posed from January 6th, so we need to investigate that. Like, that's the narrative, that's the Kool-Aid, but it's obvious that nobody in power actually believes that. They're just using that as an excuse to have like some sort of commission into January 6th. Just
Yeah.
as an excuse for all the Democrat politicians to like
It's
grandstand and be like, "See, this is how bad the Republicans are." Like that, they know that nothing is going to come out of it. They know there isn't any continuing danger from it. They just want to use like the taxpayers' money in an investigation/commission to essentially propagandize the public and campaign for their party. And the Republicans are right to just completely shut that the fuck down.
I do think it startled them a little bit, though. It made them think, oh, maybe people can get angry at the shit
Yeah.
we
We're
do.
just mortals. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, undoubtedly it like startled them at the time, but
Well,
like, I don't
apart
think
from
anyone
Hillary,
is
Hillary's not
still.
mortal.
Yeah.
Well,
What?
she just go back to her, ring again.
Well, Hillary Clinton's a demon, folks. She's got flies on her. You see kids and they're afraid to go near her. They say she smells like sulfur.
I mean,
She's
Have
a
you
demon,
seen her?
folks.
have you seen her? She probably. I could just smell sulfur by looking at her and just.
so.
Break the conditioning!
Just to go back to the Wuhan lab real quick, the guys in chat are again
wanna
making
go back there?
fantastic points and making us look even better than we are because we get to talk about the excellent points they're coming up with. Catherine M saying, to be fair, there's a decent argument for studying these things. Yeah, true. The problem comes when you don't follow proper safety procedures because 15 years ago you were a third world country, more like 15 months ago. The thin line between weapons development for offense and defense. Yeah, that's pretty true.
Pretty much.
Yep, and Billy Blogs adds onto it saying, how come they had modified trucks with jet engines on the back to spray disinfectant fumigant? I suspect they had these sprayers on standby in case they had a leak. Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
I'm
likely.
not gonna I'm not gonna sit here and condemn China for having the labs. All the big countries have them, and all the big countries
Yeah,
are
absolutely.
working on their own fucking killer virus thing. Like, I don't know who made this point, but do you think if America made a virus that can kill like everyone that is an American, they wouldn't use it instantly? They would, but
They just
Come
do a
on.
better job of making
At
sure
least-
that it didn't start in America.
yeah,
Hey, Texan, can you confirm?
Yeah, that's
He said,
classified.
it's confirmed. He said, it's confirmed.
They can neither
You gotta
confirm nor deny
say
that.
it in Joe Biden voice. Hey, Joe Biden, can you confirm that you have super virus labs in the U.S.?
You see, the thing about if you hold near and dear to you that you want to be safe from, anyway, we're gonna get a lot done.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
I believe in you, Biden. I believe. Almost mad to say it. But
by
there's
the-
one thing though. There was one politician who was heavily affected by this. One politician who truly suffered through the Capitol riots, Nancy Pelosi, because she had to burn everything in her office in order to get the stain of the plebeians out of her office.
Yes.
She had so many
Poor
pandering
Nancy
clothes.
Pelosi. Had
I mean,
to go
her
near
entire
the
pandering closet was set on fire because she had to destroy it. Oh man, the pandering chief.
By the way, the gold tier Zoom call is in 8 minutes. So what are we doing there?
Oh damn.
Yeah,
we
we jump
probably
onto it
need
after-
to wrap up. So we're going to have a really short one today because of that, and we'll try and do a quick wrap up if you guys want.
Yeah.
Just fighting with something.
Fighting with something?
I'm just fighting with audio devices because Zoom's like,
Ah.
we've tested your shit and it doesn't work. Like, fair. I struggle with audio issues like in the other podcast where I was apparently missing audio for like 45 minutes because I'm a boomer.
Wasn't that embarrassing?
Yeah, it was.
How embarrassing.
At least it wasn't vibrant.
Yeah. Well, we might start wrapping up then. Woke array just everywhere.
Oh joy!
It gets worse every day.
Look,
Stop it. Just-
yeah.
I don't-
Second, if I had kids, I'd be sending them to Catholic school.
Or
Yeah.
homeschool them.
I ain't fucking homeschooling kids. Fuck that shit. Actually,
mean, yeah,
if I get kids, I'm hiring you to be a teacher. And
actually, I would be totally up for homeschooling the kids as long as I could send my female partner out to work and be the breadwinner. I'd be totally okay with being the stay-at-home parent.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
they
that'll work.
do want true equality, right? Let's give it to them.
Yeah, the thing
House
is,
dads, unite.
the thing is, I don't know. I really liked going to public school. You know, I think I got lucky. I think I got some good public schools in my trajectory, and I've always been smart enough to figure shit out, even if the instruction isn't the best. But really, the main thing was being around a bunch of wacky, weird, eccentric, different people with different perspectives, and I think that shaped me in a positive way. The problem is, God, if things continue the way they are or stay the same, I can't send any kids I have into that indoctrination
Yeah,
machine.
you are right though that public schools are better for getting people exposure to legitimate diversity, and exposure to legitimate diversity does make people better adjusted adults. But
It's what they were initially trying to propose: diversity of thought, which it seems they have abandoned now.
and you get diversity of thought when you've from a diversity of races, which is kind of true, but they don't look at it in the right way. But the big issue is like you can't rely, like in England specifically. Like Carl's talked about it, how there's no way in hell he's going to send his kids to a public school. He doesn't want his son coming home saying he's a girl and he wants to cut his dick off.
I'll be honest. I'll just try to work as hard as I need to work to send my kids to a private school, because I'm not sending them to a public school here.
I mean, there's one thing.
Well, of course
I
you
would
are. Why
I would
would
actually agree to the whole private school thing, but then I realize in a sigh of relief that I live in Norway, and we don't have that kind
Yeah.
of shit here.
You lucky bastard.
So you mean you don't have schools singling out all the straight white male Christians and abusing them for being straight white and male?
Nope.
Oop, Zoom's
yet, at
doing
least,
weird
and I hope-
things.
And I hope to God they never
Okay,
fucking
the
do.
Zoom meeting has kicked off.
Alrighty
Alright.
then.
Vibrant.
Alrighty,
Vibrant.
thanks for joining us, folks. You can catch us in our Discord and whatnot.
Like, comment, and subscribe for more.
Yeah,
Before
what he
we
said.
depart, I have something to leave you with.
Nice.
Keep on
Here.
boomering.
What? What? You've never played Tuber Simulator? You know it's fun, right?
It is.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Alrighty, folks. So we're going to off to the gold tier call. Catch us all later. Have a good one.
Hey,
Toodaloo.
Have a
peace,
nice
my
day,
dudes.
guys.
Hi, I hope you enjoyed this segment from the Sultans of Shadilay podcast.
If you like this segment, please click like, comment, and subscribe. Also, check out the full podcast in the description below.